Hello and welcome to yet another cast. For you today I have a custom 6v6 played on the Roxas map generator. We have Team 1 up in the north, yes that is Team 1, and Team 2 down here in the south. Big Mapgen map, scaled in quite a bit, probably 12k looking at how far this is scaled in. We are on a 20k base as you can see here. And let's start introducing the players. Let's start with the westernmost position for Team 1. In Burgundy Red and going UEF starting first land, we have Geneva. Then to the east of that in Piss Yellow, also starting first land and going Seraphim, we have Subq. To the north of that in green, going Cypern and opening first land, we have Lex Tresor. Then the second block of players up here, because players are split in two blocks on this map, even though they are on the same team. In the most back slot in this hot pink, we have Crusader Nova going Aeon and opening first land. Then to the south of that, in this regal purple, we have Monstratus going Aeon as well and opening first land. And to the east of that, in Cyan, also going Aeon and also opening first land, we have Space Monkey. Now to the southern team. On their westernmost slot in dark blue, going Aeon as well, also opening first land, we have Carlos, or Carl170S. I'm just gonna assume that that is supposed to be pronounced Carlos? Carlios? No idea, I'm just gonna stick with Carlos. And then to the west of that, in this greenish gray, this very dark color, we have Brnk of Insanity, going Seraphim and opening first land. He did do a bunch of content a while back. Still gonna link his channel because a bunch of good stuff. But yeah, you can find the stuff down in the comments down. Then, not in the comments in the description. God damn it. Anyway, to the south of Brnk, we have in normal blue, also going Seraphim and opening first land, a Fat Toe. And on the second player block, starting in the back position, going Cypern and opening first land and apparently second air, we have Tynet in red. To the north of that, in this lime green, we have Cool Hand Luke, also going Cypern and opening first land. And last but not least, to the west of that, in this brown color, that is brown, we have Focke-Wulf going Cypern, opening first and second land, as you're already moving towards the middle. Now we have a bigger plateau in the middle that is... Never mind, that's not a plateau, that is actually lower than the rest of the map, not higher. But yeah, it does have a bunch of reclaim, we have a bunch of plateaus that of actual plateaus right here. Zoomed over that, and let's take a short count of the amount of reclaim on the map. 57k currently still left, probably somewhere around... Looking at that, yeah, somewhere around 50 to 52, 53k. Yeah, somewhere in the 50,000 area reclaim-wise, so quite a bit to go around. We have a bunch of very nice just clumps of reclaim. This alone is around 3k reclaim by the looks of it, or nearly 4k. But we see Brnk and Carlos pushing very aggressively with those commanders. Already up here, basically on the opposing side of the map. Fat Toe joining up as well. And there are currently only two ACUs at the front line for the other team, those being the ones of Space Monkey and Crusader Nova. And the one for Monstratus is still back a bit. So they could possibly force a breakthrough right here. Just by focusing this amount of ACUs on such a short area. Since this upgrade started for Space Monkey, that upgrade is very cheap and thus also possible to get very early on. Though we are already at 4 minutes, so it's not that early anymore for upgrades. But it is still very cheap, and you can also see that just this unassisted upgrade is building this quickly. But by the looks of it, primary combat force for Space Monkey currently just a bunch of land scouts, which, surprise surprise, aren't that good as combat units. But There were some units coming in for Brnk. Nice overcharge out there from Space Monkey, I think, killing off two with one shot. However, the ACU for Carlos now also closing in, and that will be a massive threat. Crusade Nova trying to come in to support, but Fat Toe also getting into the area, and with both ACUs that wouldn't change too much about the current situation here. By looks of it, Space Monkey does make it out alive. Brnk manages to run by with more units, kill off some NGs that were trying to wreck some PD. And just dislodge the players from this position before they could get set up properly. Bunch of fervors coming in from Monstratus now to try and support, but fervors not very effective against anything that is moving somewhat well, as they are only indirect fire units. And now the ACU for Crusade Nova taking a bunch of fire from Brnk's Thams. Another attempt to build some PD. This one might actually succeed. Well, maybe not, because those energies are dying very rapidly. And never mind, the energy does survive, so that PD will most likely... well, yes, it will finish, okay. It was taking some arty shells, but it did end up finishing. Now, Space Monkey started a gun speed upgrade. Right here on the other flank we see Focke-Wulf currently tangling with the ACU of Geneva. Geneva currently, by the looks of it, having the spam advantage, but pulling back with the ACU, which does allow Focke-Wulf to get out of there alive. Gun upgrade started for Sub-Q, and Tynat pushing in with that ACU as well to just kill off some of Sub-Q's units. With Cool and Luke coming into support as well. On this side, Fat Toe very low, possibly due to the fervor shells, and being walked down by Monstratus, who does have double gun. I completely missed that. But with that first ejection already at just below 7 minutes, Fat Toe does bow out. And this is played on full share. Yes, it is. So the base does get handed over to Brnk. Shield now started for Monstratus, meaning that ACU will continue to be effective on the front for quite some time. And Carlos and Brnk currently deciding to pull back a bit. The AC, since there are now also 3 ACUs in the area, basically defending, which becomes very dangerous now that there are only 2 ACUs left for the Southern team, with both of them not having any gun upgrades. But a few more successful run-bys killing off some stuff by the looks of it. Well, never mind, I think that was already dead. And now the units for Monstratus pushing in and about to take out the small production outpost for Carlos right here. Who is trying to get T2 right here, but not sure if they will be able to keep that. I'm pretty sure that's a support factor. Let me check if they have an HQ. Yes, they have. Building an HQ that far up front would be very, very bold. Space Monkey taking a lot of fire. And fervor shells all apparently missing the AC of Brnk. Bunch of more overcharges come in. But both Brnk and Carlos seem to be very careful, as they currently neither have the spam numbers nor the ACU advantage, as the ACU for Space Monkey that is now pushing in does have gun, and is at similar HP to the ones of Carlos and Brnk. And with other ACUs also being in the area, that's not really the situation that you want to have. Brnk saying to pull out because they basically did enough by denying that position, I suppose, and deciding to pull back with the ACU. And Carlos apparently doing the same thing by the looks of it. Big scale push out from Sub-Q on the other flank against Cool Hand Luke, who is only 900 being pushed by 1600. That's a big rating mismatch. In the meantime, big run by through the middle area, out from Lexstrasser, who, even though they are only 800, definitely pulled off a nice play with that and will be able to just kill off a bunch of backline units for the southern team by getting in there, killing off AT to max for Brnk, and apparently start now moving that stuff into the base of Tynot. Also potentially killing off the maxes right here, which are currently not still at T1 but in the process of upgrading. And the other painful thing here being that those NGs will all go down. That's gonna be a big loss of willpower. But maxes do go down. That's definitely a big effective run by. Another one comes in. In the meantime, Cool Hand Luke does have guns, so they will be able to use that commander with great effectiveness to defend against that spam. Stealth coming out from Focke-Wulf, who also does have gun. And Geneva currently with gun and nano, picking off the units for Focke-Wulf. And Tynot is coming in with that ACU now as well to try and support. I think those maxes were actually T2. Yeah, those were the 3 T2 maxes here as well. That's super painful. But Brnk is now sending some Ishwas into the area to try and take that run by out. Though I suspect that it will actually manage to get into the backline of Tynot, who does have T3 air. And is currently just finished T3 Pigeon. Big land push surrounding Cool Hand Luke, running past that ACU and getting in a lot of damage, so I expect that this ACU is about to die. Below 2k, and there, well, takes mount because I guess it's the T1 army. But oh, they do survive, just about. Well, they survive for just a moment. Geneva is pushing in with that, with those strikers, with their army. Maybe to just finish the job. Though we do see some rhinos out from Cool Hand Luke, and they might be able to hold off against these strikers. On the other flank, Carlos does go down to Space Monkey, who, well, looking at that, most likely just walked down the ACU with the support of Monstratus, just getting in the last shot. But now being pushed by a bunch of Ishwas out from Brnk. Not sure if this ACU will actually survive. It's taking a lot of damage, it is below 2.5k. Below 1k, it gets a crucial rank of veterancy, and with this I suspect it will survive. Though there are more Ishwas coming in. Yeah, but does get back, and thus I'm pretty sure that Space Monkey will survive this. How's the other side looking? Cool Hand Luke does survive for now, though, well, they also have a massive reclaim field now in their front yard. But Sub-Q pushing up with that ACU that now has nano as well. Focke-Wulf in the meantime using that stealth to harass some of the units of Geneva without being noticed. And yes, Space Monkey also does survive. Now, how does T3 Air look for the other side? T3 Air also out for Crusader Nova. We did notice the T3 Air out for Tynot a bit earlier, but there was a bunch of stuff going on, so I didn't check for the T3 Air on the northern team. ACU for Sub-Q continues to push in, takes out a factory of the supporting army, and about to kill off a bunch of willpower, a raider, meaning that the intel on this flank is most likely very limited now. As I'm pretty sure that that was the only raider in the area. Another run by through the middle attempted by Legstresser. But there are already issues out from Brnk to defend against that, so that will most likely not succeed anymore. Bunch of Cerberus now erected in the main base of Cool Hand Luke to defend what they still have. And Tynot now also coming in with that ACU to help and defend. And with that, it seems like this army will be forced back for the moment. This gun ACU also very important for this. Getting off another nice overcharge, killing off 3 farms. And ooh, yeah, 2 what are they called? 2 Ishwas is also really, really nice. Big push from Brnk now out on the other flank. but just with a whole bunch of Ishivas, pushing through very successfully. Space Monkey does have T2 now, meaning that they do have a bunch more HP, but by the looks of it, this is not going after the ACU and just continues to push in deeper. Taking out a bunch of maxes, a bunch of build power, a bunch of factories. Also these E-storages that would be very important to overcharge, which chain in a glorious explosion. But those Ishivas seem to make it deep into the main base of Space Monkey. Killing off maxes, killing off power, being a big nuisance in general. Though we now do see some Spectres coming in from the side Nova to try and defend against that. But the big problem with that is that that we have a large number of mobile flag units in the mix as well for Brnk. Nice to see him build up some AA, as that is a very important thing to do with your armies. I know that players in general are very split about the use of AA and stuff like that, because, well, it can't fire against ground units, but it also prevents any it can help against any kind of air going on. And something I do say quite often, your air player won't be everywhere at the same time, so having something to deal with air units in your army is generally a good idea in my opinion. But I am aware that that is not something that's usually really seen that much, as I know that a lot of players, even higher rated ones, don't build AA, while a lot also do. So yeah, it seems like people are split about it. But a bunch of PD thrown up in the base of Monstratus. ACU for Space Monkey now also comes in to try and take that out, but they are currently dealing with the situation that they no longer have a base. Bunch of build power going out for dying for Monstratus. Also taking out all of the, well, not all, but most of the PD. The remaining PD now also going down. And I completely missed it, but apparently Focke-Wulf was walked down by Sub-Q, considering the position of this ACU. Not very nice to see. But they do go down, meaning that the Southern team is now 3 players down. The base did get initially handed over to Brnk, though he did decide to gift it over to Tynet since they are already on that flank. Another push out from Brnk with a bunch of Ishis just taking out this side position for the Northern team, taking out all the build power and eco there. While the push that killed off the main base of Space Monkey did die, but no, it didn't. It is now just pushing right here into the back. About to kill off a bunch of build power and a bunch of maxes, most likely. A bunch of T2 maxes. Definitely getting some nice value. And that, yep, that max does go down. And would be nice to see some proper max priority right here, but it still does the trick, and that's 3 T2 maxes going down. That push probably paid for itself. Now, this side area seems to have been cleared up, with the exception of a singular max. And thus the push continues now into the main base arrangement of Monstratus. Proving to be a big issue. Also apparently Harbinger's out from Brnk. Right, I completely forgot that Carlos also died, meaning that Brnk also has access to the Aeon tech, and thus also Harbingers, which are pretty decent. Pretty decent indeed. Now if you look on this side again, a combined push out from Max Dresser and Sub-Q going in against Cool Hand Luke. A bunch of that stuff now being primed down by the Cerberus turrets, but those Rhinos apparently just way too tanky for those to be taken out quickly by the Cerberus turrets, by those infamous tickle guns. Also, but we do see a bunch of Loyalists out for Cool Hand Luke, though I'm not sure if they will be sufficient to save this ACU. However, it does have stealth, meaning that it adds a bit of additional HP. And apparently it is enough to force that army back for now. But we do see the establishment of a fire base right here for sub-Q, which will very neatly secure part of this reclaim field right here. And just project power in the general area. Meaning that it would be amazing to see some MMLs out for Cool Hand Luke to deal with that. But on the note of MMLs, I'm pretty sure I just saw a missile fly somewhere. I could have also just imagined that. Not out of the question here, but yeah, I think I just imagined that. But Loyalists apparently now being sent in through the middle to try something there, but they will run into a bunch of rhinos, and I'm pretty sure that T2 in general will be very effective against that. SU4 Space Monkey being airlifted to the other side. I guess to help out here. Has a drop right into the base of Cool Hand Luke by the looks of it. They need to be very careful as there's a big air presence in the area for Tynat, but they do decide the better of it and pull back onto their flank. Where we currently have a strat harassing out from Crusade Nova harassing the units of Brnk. Those seem... that looks like a very slow projectile, so I suspect RT. Well, never mind, it's a tactical missile launcher out from Geneva. And that already killed 7,343 mass, so they definitely did get a bunch of value. This mech's just about surviving. I think it just got to T3, or... well, no, it was at T3, never mind. Meaning that it can tank one missile, but the second missile will take that out. And now a firebase war started between between Sub-Q and Tynat, and completely missed it, but apparently Space Monkey does actually end up going down to Brnk. Seems like they just were pushed by a bunch of Othams and Harbingers, and didn't have anything to do with that except the ACU. And that does end up being the first kill for the Southern team. And Space Monkey complaining that full share is dumb. Well, most games nowadays are played on full share, so it is just what it is. Now, big push against Tynat, overrunning the PD position right here. Also with a whole bunch of Percivals, I suspect that Tynat will be going down here. Also locked down by this ACU as well. Only gun on the ACU for Tynat. No survivability upgrades. This is not a good situation to be in. Losing a bunch of build power, a bunch of factories. Getting off a nice overcharge and a nice rank of veterancy. Now up to 4 ranks and 11k HP. But, okay, I think most of the dangerous units did go down now, so they will most likely survive this, but that was very close. And even closer PDs now being built by Sub-Q, continuing the PD creep. There needs to be a solution for that. Right, and there also seem to be a bunch of blink hammers installed right here to prevent proper firebasing from the southern team. That position will be currently very hard to hold for Cool Hand Luke and Tynat. This is not a good place to be. But PD creep does seem to continue. Frontline Raider, more PD. And with that... that really does not look good. A Spider started for Cool Hand Luke, though the big question is how long that will stay out of PD range. Also currently not continued. And more Clink Hammers thrown up at the front. The Spider is definitely in range of that, so there's no chance of building anything in this base. Tynat now at maximum veterancy with 15k HP and 12k mass killed. And I completely missed that, but apparently Brnk built a chicken. Pushing that up into the main, not into the main base, but into the fire base for now. of Monstratus, who does have a bunch of T2 PD. However, that is bunched together very nicely, and clumped up units are generally very weak to a chicken, as it does have those big plasma bolts that just cause massive AoE damage. As you can see right here, taking out a bunch of units at the same time. Also a bunch of mobile shields moving into the area as well. And those will also just increase the effective HP pool of this chicken. PD does go down. And with that, this chicken is basically unopposed. About to get a rank of veterancy as well. Bunch of T1 bombers come in to try and take it out, but there are lightning tanks and flag in the area, meaning that those do not get another pass. However, there is a GC out for Crusader Nova to defend. However, it is not maneuvering very well, meaning that it does take a bunch of fire from the chicken without firing back. And of course it's also taking a lot of damage from the Harbingers. On the other side of the map, apparently, well, it looks like there was a possible push out from Geneva taking out the AC of Tynat. Meaning that this is now a 2v5. The GC does end up going down due to supporting army and the chicken, but the GC successfully took out most of the AA, meaning that the chicken is now being threatened by a whole bunch of air units. However, the chicken did get a lot of value. Currently at 27k massacred, and there are the ASF for Brnk coming in to take out all of the air that was tried to build up in defense by Crusader Nova. In the meantime, in the south, not looking too great, those possibles killing off the air grid that did belong to Tynat for a moment. By looks of it, the possessions of Tynat handed over to Cool Hand Luke to manage for the moment. Maybe just to hold off the flank right now while Brnk is completely breaking the other one. As a strategy. Since by looks of it, the collapse on the eastern flank is faster than the one on the western flank. Over 50k massacred now from this chicken. And the airbase for Crusader Nova is completely dead, basically. And a bunch of T1 bombers just utilized to harass the area, though there is already flag built up. Thus, that won't do too much. But desperate build-up of PD has started. Just to hold the line. And Cool and Luke continuing to use the ACU to defend. However, the final base creeping of the northbound team does continue in the area. In the meantime, Brnk's chicken continuing to push. Back up to around 27k HP. Just due to all of that regen it got from its ranks of veterancy. And the supporting army now pushing up behind that. Taking out whatever is left of the northern team's possessions. Vetto pointing out that the current situation in the south might still decide the game. Though I will have to say that it's basically just a race now who can get to the remaining bases of their opponents faster. And well, those possibles are about to break through this line of PD right here. And Cool and Luke is already pulling back. And doesn't seem like there's much in terms of defenses right there. Another chicken finishes for Brnk. And this one is pulling onto the other flank, meaning that that will most likely buy some additional time. While this chicken up here does continue pushing. And does so very successfully. Some Brnks dispatched to try and deal with that, but there is still a significant army of Harbingers and Offhams in the area which just take those out. As their chicken is not unsupported. And thus... Sorry, I had to take a sip of water mid-sentence. Weird timing for that, I know. Anyway, and does the... that does continue to collapse. ACUs for the northern team pulling away from there. Chicken started by sub-Q. Big problem here, of course, being the high regen and the supporting army for Brnk's chicken. Meantime, in the south, the push does continue, but Brnk's chicken does arrive at the current front line and starts to take out all of these possibles, which do focus on the build power, not on the ACU of Kul and Luke, who does decide to control K, I think. Fair enough at this point. Big important thing, there is we do see a big TML bank right here, out for Geneva, that is targeting the power of Brnk. And I don't think there's any TMD in the area, meaning that will go down, as Brnk was not prepared to deal with that. However, Seraphim Shields, just being Seraphim Shields, block off the first shot, or the first bunch of shots fired off. Brnk does notice and quickly starts up throwing a TMD before the first P-Gen does go down, and now gets enough TMD up to actually defend successfully. The base has been noticed, the chicken is moving in to take that down, and the Persies here die as well. In the meantime, right here, chicken finishes for sub-Q, though there is still the large force for Brnk. And as I pointed out, just the supporting army and the regen from all the veterancy for Brnk's chicken makes that a lot more competitive in this engagement. Quickly shredding the HP on the chicken for sub-Q, putting it below the HP of Brnk's already used one, which is at a whopping 148 mass kit at the moment. I guess that's what you get for killing off the entire area up here. Brnk requests that his teammates stop pinging, so I guess there's a lot of pings going on there. A lot of aggressive pinging. But Lightning Storm right here does not actually do anything. Does Lightning Storm no longer do friendly fire? Because it doesn't seem to be doing anything against the base of sub-Q, which does feel weird. But chicken continues to push in, about to take out the production yards of Geneva, and the northern team recalls from battle, as Brnk did manage to stabilize the southern front and was just crashing what was the northern team from behind after pushing through the other side. Right, I hope you did enjoy this. This was streamed live on Twitch, link to that will be, as per always, down in the description. And so will be, as already pointed out at the start, the link to Brnk's channel. Even though he's no longer active, there's still a whole bunch of subcom content that is definitely worth checking out. Even though it is on auto patches now, but it is what it is. Yeah, this there will of course also be the links, the FAF links, as I have started doing now. So FAF Discord, where you can also send in replays on the Replay to Cast channel, and I generally do look at most of those, as well as of course the majority of other casters also looking into that channel. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and yeah, subscribe if you want to see more like this, because, or if you want to be notified when more of this comes out, because I will make more of this, even if you don't want it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope to see you again in the future cast, and till then, bye!